Okay, so welcome to our bite-sized learning. Today, what we want to do is kind of go through some different things around creating effective instructional videos. This session kind of goes along with our self-paced learning series that we're doing that's modeled after the Modern Classrooms project. But you can benefit from this even if you're not taking part in that series. So it just kind of aligns really nicely with the work we're doing there right now. So just to introduce ourselves, we are your shift team. I'm Rachel Johnson.
I'm Sarah Nicorak.
And I'm Matt Coleman.
And we are super excited that you are all here today. So what we want to do is just kind of go over some general tips for creating your instructional videos, and then we're going to dive into some of the learning around Screencastify and Edpuzzle. So really our sort of main kind of ideas around creating effective instructional videos is making sure that they're focused. So you should focus on one learning objective only, that they're visual so that you have lots of images and you're minimizing the text that you're using on your screen. Try and make them interactive. So plan for those places where your learners are going to engage with the material, not just kind of a sit and get type style. Keep it concise. The shorter, the better. 6 minutes is pretty ideal. Around the secondary level, I would make it even shorter if you're in the elementary level. If you are putting text up on the screen, animations work really well, kind of like what I'm doing right here, because it helps with the flow of your presentation. And then finally, keep it personal. Show your face. It's kind of scary to throw your face on there when you're in Screencastify, but your students want to see you. They want to connect with you. So show your face right as you're going, or annotate, like anything you can do to make it a personal experience for your students is going to be amazing. And really above all else, like my biggest piece of advice for you is go for done, not perfect. So sort of one take and just go for it. You're not perfect in the classroom when you're face to face. You don't need to be perfect on your videos either. So in terms of thinking about how you're creating your videos, you want to have a bit of a process in place. So you do want to think about your planning step first. Going through creating the slides or the doc that you're going to screencast when you're recording your video. You then want to record your video. So Screencastify is a great option because our board has paid for the license for us. So you do have that unlimited recording time available to you. And then you can enhance your videos with embedding questions as well and using guided notes to engage your learners. And then finally, you would want to consider how you're going to share your videos. How are you going to organize your materials in a really clear manner, whether it be through Brightspace or Google Classroom, depending on if you're in secondary or elementary. All right, so we really want to gear this around you and what you want to learn. So I'm going to put in a link, or Matt's already got my back for me. Thank you, Matt. And so we want you to go and vote for what part of Screencastify or Edpuzzle that you want to take a look at. And while you're just doing that here, I'm going to switch my presentation mode so that I can flip back and forth between different tabs and not have to worry about you guys losing me. Okay. So let's just go and take a look at our form and see where everybody wants to learn. All right. Oh, option number 5 is, hold on. Option number 3. Okay, let's start with option number 3. So what is option number 3? The drawing tools in Screencastify. So these are pretty cool. I would say the drawing tools are a really great thing to use, especially if you have like a Wacom tablet or some sort of graphics tablet, or if you're using a touchscreen laptop, then they're going to be really useful. They are still pretty useful though if you're just on your laptop, because you can do a few things with even just your mouse or your trackpad. So when you start up a Screencastify, let me just open up the extension here. Whenever you're on a page where you can enable your drawing tools, if you come under Show More Options, then you can enable them down here. So you're just going to toggle that on to turn them on. And then when you hit record, I'll just record this screen here so we're not worried about that. But down at the bottom, you're going to get your drawing tools panel. So you've got a bunch of things you can do in here. You can pause your recording. So if you need to quickly pause, because you have to cough or something, then you can do that here and then restart your recording there. You've also got your mouse pointer and you've got a few options. So I like the highlight clicks because then when I click on something, it shows that red kind of highlight. But there are a couple of other options. So you can hide the cursor when not moved. So you can make your cursor disappear. And you can also use the focus mouse. So that's going to give you a nice little spotlight so that you can, really sort of emphasize what you're speaking about. Your pen tool has different colors, so you can pick a color and then you can circle on your slide or however you want to maybe underline and emphasize your point that way. And then you've got your erase tool, so you can erase little pieces, or you can also clear and wipe the entire screen clear. And that's kind of the basics of the tools. There are keyboard shortcuts, and so when we share out the slide deck later, I'll put a link into what those keyboard shortcuts are, and you can go take a look, but because they can be really handy to do that quickly. The other one that's missing here is your webcam. I think it's because I started my recording without my webcam, but you can turn on and off your webcam from that toolbar as well. So those are a lot of fun. So that is your drawing tools. Let me just stop this recording here. And let's go back now to our list. And let's vote again. Okay, so again, same link. Matt, do you want to? Awesome, thank you. And let's take a look at what else you guys want to learn. So I'll just give you a minute to vote. I'm totally not looking at the chat here. Sarah and Matt, can you let me know if there are major questions that pop up? Okay, awesome.
Just as people are voting, Sharon asked whether you can use the drawing tool in presentation mode on Google Slides. She's had trouble with that.
Oh, you know what's really good, Sharon, is if you're in your presentation, like the way that I'm in this presentation right now, is if you go, instead of clicking on present, you could go to presenter view. And so it gives you the majority of your screen where you're showing your Google Slides, and it's in a pretty nice presentation mode. And your drawing tools will still pick up as you're going, but then you don't have to worry about losing those. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's see, where are we going next? We've done option 3, so our next one, option 5. So let's go to option 5, which is the editor. So the editor in Screencastify, it's pretty simplistic, but it's enough to do the job basically and get the job done if you're editing a video. Now, since I just did this recording, I think it's probably easiest for me to show you the editor here. So once you've recorded your video in Screencastify, if you go to open an editor, sorry, my dog's having a dream and she's barking off to the side here. It's a little distracting. Yeah, so if you open up the editor, then it's going to open up your video. Now it looks pretty blurry, and I think this is just the Screencastify editor. When you take your video back after you've finished editing it, it's not going to look this blurry. So what you want to do is, if you click on your video clip down at the bottom, it highlights it in yellow. You can play your video and watch your clip. And then if you want to cut your clip in certain places, you just move your playhead to where you want to cut it, and then you use the scissors tool. So you can cut your clip into a couple of places. Like say I didn't want this piece in the middle here, I could cut it on either side. And then if I highlight just that clip, I can get rid of it or delete it. So it's kind of a quick way to be able to edit your video. You can also drag in the ends if you want to make it a little bit shorter. Say there's a part at the end you don't want to include, then you can get rid of that. You can also, in each of your video clips, crop them. So if you click on the crop tool, now Sharon, this one's probably pretty good for you, because if you've recorded your slides and you needed those drawing tools, but you did it in present mode, you can crop your video so you get rid of all the other stuff, like the top toolbar and your Chrome window and everything like that, and then you'll just see your slides on there. So I'm going to crop that little clip there, and it's just going to bring the piece that I selected. So it's a nice little cheat around getting those tools on there. The other thing you can do is add text. Yeah, what's up, Matt?
Couple questions in the chat. Sabrina's asking about transitions between clips, and Jem is also asking about option to voiceover after the fact.
Okay. Transitions between clips, there's nothing in Screencastify. You would have to use a more powerful video editing tool. So something like if you're on a Mac, iMovie, or WeVideo, although it's pretty limited for the free accounts. So there's a bunch of different video editors. If you want to get really fancy and put all that sort of stuff in, you can do. But Screencastify editor is just super, super basic in terms of what it has. And then what was the other question?
Voiceover. Can you
voiceover? So you can't voiceover in here, but if you're using this in conjunction with Edpuzzle and there's a piece of your video that you want to voiceover, or you want to, just pull a clip and voiceover in it, you can do it in there. And we can show you how to do that too. So the last one in the editor is your text tool. So you can add text anywhere. It's pretty basic again, but you can type something out. So, I could go click here, and then there's a few options. So you can center it in the screen. You can center it top, middle, or bottom of your actual screen. So you can add little tags, and then you can also drag them out longer or shorter, depending on what you want to do. That's kind of the basics of the editor. When you're done there, you're just going to hit export, and it's going to take your video, and you can save it back to your Google Drive.
Sorry, Rachel, just for as well, I guess you could, if you want to stick with Screencastify, you could Screencastify your Screencastify and voice record it the second time you do that, if you want to stick to that. It's a little convoluted, but that's another option.
Yeah, that's very true. You could totally do that if you needed to. Especially if you're going for the one and done. I might just re-record a section. Yeah. You can actually come in and add in extra video clips here too. So the blue plus button down in your Screencastify editor, you can upload or add from Google Drive. So you can stitch together a bunch of videos if you need to, and a bunch of video clips. So that could be another option. Maybe you just re-record that one little bit and go back.
All right, it's voting time again.
Yep. Where are we at now? So we did 5, we've done 3. Our next big ones, We got 12:09. You guys aren't making this easy because they're all even. Okay, option number 2 looks like it's, or number 12. All right, let's see where we're at here. Go back home. Let's go with number 12 because it's an Edpuzzle one, and I do want to dive into some of the Edpuzzle stuff as well. So we're asking about how to embed an Edpuzzle video into Brightspace. It's fairly easy to do this with an Edpuzzle video. So if I go into Edpuzzle, I'm just going to click on whatever video I want to take and embed in my learning management system. And I am going to go down to the Share Preview button. So if we click on that, now for those of you in here that are in elementary and you're using Google Classroom, you would copy this link at the top and you would go and post that in your Google Classroom. But for secondary folks who are using Brightspace, what you're going to do is decide on a size of video that you want to pop into your Brightspace course shell. I would go with either maybe the medium size if you're going to post it in your newsfeed. The large size I think is actually pretty nice if you're posting it in your content. And then you're just going to copy this link. It's a bit of code that it's called an embed code that you can go and then embed in your Brightspace learning shell. So if we take that, I've copied that. I'm going to come over to Brightspace.
Rach, can you share your referral code so people can give you extra videos as well as they're signing up?
Yeah. Let me just go grab that here. Okay. Yeah, so as you're signing up, if you use that code, you get a little bit more storage space. All right, so if I go under my content here, and I want to add, let's just put it in here. So I'm just going to, within a content page in Brightspace, I'm just going to edit this. And what you can do to insert that here is you're going to go to your Insert Stuff button. And then as you scroll down, you're going to go Enter Embed Code. And then you're just going to paste that code from, oh shoot, I got to go back and grab it because, so it's under Share Preview, large size, copy that link. And then I'm going to get rid of that and I'm just going to post it in there. Okay. And then I click Next. You do have to allow it. Normally it says, I'm not going to allow this. So just click on Allow. And then you're going to hit Insert. And it's going to look like this. It doesn't look quite right, but if you save your page, then you'll see the preview of your Edpuzzle video embedded in there. Okay, so it's a really nice way to get your content into your learning management system so your students don't have to go back into, basically they don't have to, lost the word. They don't have to interact with Edpuzzle at all. They can do everything within Brightspace. Whew, words. Okay. All right. Okay, where to next? Well, we got 10 minutes still. So let's see, we've done option 5. We did option 12. I think option 2 is getting a lot of votes. So why don't we go there? Okay. So this is about the Screencastify recording options. And there's quite a few options in terms of how you're recording your videos and what you can choose to do. So if I click on my extension for Screencastify, At the very top, you've got a choice between the browser tab. So what that means is it's just going to record the tab you are on. So if you flip to other tabs during your recording, it is not capturing that. So that's good to pick if you want to, say, only do Google Slides and you're just doing a slide presentation, then you might want to pick that one. The other reason you might want to pick this one is if you are playing any sort of audio or video within your Screencastify presentation, this is the only option where you can turn the tab audio on. And so it'll pick up that audio as it's recording. The next one, desktop. So that's going to pick up everything. So you can flip between tabs. You can even go into different applications or all kinds of stuff, and it will pick up anything that is on your desktop. So just be careful when you put that one on that you don't have any kind of pop-ups or anything turned on that's going to show up some information that you don't want showing up there. And then your other option is webcam only. So this is just going to be you, your webcam picking you up and showing just your face or whatever your webcam is capturing. Now within the other two, you can embed your webcam if you want. So if you turn that on and you start recording, it does pop a little window down here. Let's just record that one. And then you can even move your window if it's not in the right sort of spot. So you can put it, you know, wherever you need to on your screen. And you can also get out of that with your drawing toolbar here. So you can enable it and disable it there. All right. So those are the kind of the major recording options. When it's recording, you can also, if you come up and click on your extension again, you can, if you hate the recording, you can trash it. You can also just restart your recording again at this point if you want to. You can also pause it up here, and then when you stop it, it'll stop the recording and save that to your Google Drive. So yeah, those are the basics. The other things, your microphone. So you just want to make sure that you've picked the right microphone, especially if you have something external plugged in, that you're picking up the right thing. And the other thing you can take a look at under the more options is the countdown. If 3 seconds is not enough for you to get ready to start recording, you can put it up to 5 or 10 seconds instead. Okay, so there's a few different little options in there. All right, well, I think we got time for a couple more. So let's go back to our vote again. Let's see where we're at. Whoa, option number 9 is getting some love right now. I think we need to go there. Okay, option number 9. So in Edpuzzle, adding content. There are a few really cool ways to add content to your Edpuzzle. The first one I want to show you, it's actually another option on our sheet, but it does kind of fit with this, is that if you've recorded in Screencastify, you can share and upload directly to Edpuzzle from here. So that saves a little bit of time. If you're not seeing that option under your share window, if you click on more options, if you still don't see it there, you want to go to add more share options, and then you want to make sure that Edpuzzle has been toggled on. Okay, because then that's going to give you the option to upload directly to Edpuzzle. Now, if you haven't done Screencastify, it's totally fine. Within Edpuzzle itself, if we go back to the main window and you click on My Content, then you have this big blue Add Content button up at the top here. So if we click on that, you've got a couple of options. You can create a video, which is going to take you into a search option where you can search all the different videos and YouTube and then start creating your video lesson from there. Or you can go to upload a video. So you can upload your own video, and you can either choose a file from your computer or you can choose a file from your Google Drive. So that's kind of nice that it's integrated directly with your Google Drive. If we go back to the other option really quickly, if you click on create a video, you're taken into the Edpuzzle community. You can search in here, so you can narrow your search down by subject, by grade level, and even by country. So if you want to search, just videos that were made in Canada, which might not be a bad idea, because then it's matching maybe our curriculum a little bit better, you can do that. So you can search the Edpuzzle community, and then you can also search YouTube. So this is really nice. And then they have all these popular channels off to the side here, and all of the main ones are there. So Crash Course, Khan Academy, TED Talks, all sorts of stuff. And then if you want to use a video and add it to your content, you can just check it off, and then you would have to copy it. So if you copy the video over, then it is going to come over into your content. And then from here, you can click on it. You can go to edit, and you can start adding in your own questions and notes and everything that you want to do there. So there's a few ways of getting content into your Edpuzzle.
Rachel, there's a question similar to the one we got yesterday about closed captioning in Screencastify.
That's a good one. You know what you could do if you wanted to get the closed captioning in Screencastify? If you're using Google Slides, you can turn on your closed captioning when you're in present mode. So if I come to my one here, I can just go down to my closed captioning captions, and I can turn that on. And so it does a pretty good job picking up what you're saying and puts those captions down at the bottom of your screen. So as you're capturing your screen, you're automatically capturing your captions right there. And I would say that probably is the easiest way of going about doing that. If you're not using Google Slides, then you can turn on the closed captioning within Edpuzzle. If you want to turn it on and make it automatic for all of your videos, if you go into your profile, click on your name, and then under the main settings, you can default assignment, always have your closed captionings turned on, then it'll do that for you. Okay, I think we're just about out of time. So just to kind of end ourselves off here, we are going to share out the slides with you. Maybe Matt or Sarah, do you want to put that link in the chat for everyone? And I just wanted to point out towards the end, there are some really great resources for you to go check out if you want to dive deeper into either of these tools. So both Screencastify and Edpuzzle have some amazing certification courses that you can work through to learn the different components of them. I've also found YouTube playlists for each of the different tools, so it's all the kind of the basics of getting started. And there's a couple of podcast episodes there as well if you would rather listen rather than watch videos and learn that way. So, right on the dot, we are finished. We're happy to stay and take questions, but yeah, thanks for coming.
Thanks, everybody.